I'd like to talk about the flashlight mechanic in Devastated Dreams and what its purpose is. One of the one of the things we got feedback on in Neverending Nightmares was that it was just walking, and that was mostly deliberate. We wanted to create a game about exploration, and where exploration was the theme and was the main action. But I think that exploration wasn't quite as engaging as people had hoped, or at least as some people had hoped. And so with Devastated Dreams, we really want to make the exploration aspect of the game more engaging. And so we've been addressing that two ways. Firstly, there's the fact that it's going to be a bit less linear. So there'll be different things to explore, and the payoff for exploration will hopefully be more story beats. But I mainly want to talk about the flashlight, which I think adds a lot to the game. Now, you won't have the flashlight in every level, but in certain scenes it will be pivotal for puzzle solving and exploring. And the background for this is I was thinking about 3D games, and so if you look at like a lot of 3D games, exploration, even like in linear, even in something like PT, which is something I think about a lot, because I think there's several parallels in PT to Neverending Nightmares. But anyway, PT, you're just walking along a very linear path, but I think it's safe to say that it feels better exploring that hallway than in Neverending Nightmares. And I'm not sure why that is, but my theory is that it's because you can look around. You have that added element. You're not just moving the character, but you're also controlling where the character sees, or where you see in the environment. And so a great way to capture that is with the flashlight aiming mechanic. And then, similar to PT, you're using both analog sticks, assuming you're using a controller. The flashlight is on the mouse. And so getting the shape of the flashlight to be correct or to be something we like, it was a real challenge. One of the things is that we want the character to be lit, so we want you to see her face when you're holding the flashlight normally. We also want the beam to look somewhat reasonable. If we just had it emanating from the actual head of the flashlight, I guess, is it called the head, the lens, or whatever, then the character wouldn't be seen at all. So we sort of have this backsplash of light in a circular shape, and the flashlight is kind of faced out at the camera, so it looks reasonable. One of the things that we didn't originally have was just this fall off, and the fall off is actually my favorite part of the camera, because if you look in front of your character, you see these different watercolor sort of ink blot patterns fade out, and that's sort of our new lighting system. And I'm really happy with our new lighting system. I think it's a really neat feature, and really adds some depth. So here's some fast running. So this is a debug build and all. So let me just show you some interesting things about it. So here, let's see if I can find it. So here is the scene without the lighting at all. It's very bright, and the reason it's bright is so that things sort of pop out through the holes of the watercolor, and then we layer on different effects. So one of the ways is, let's pretend that the scene was lit fully, like this is sort of, if a flashlight spread all over the screen, it would look like this. And so you'll notice that is a far cry from this. And the reason why there's this extra darkness is because we're trying to create the illusion of a 3D space using our stylized 2D art style. And so the way this works is when I turn this off and look the flashlight up, because the flashlight is vertical, the depth of the scene, things in the distance are darker. So we definitely want to create the idea of that this is a 3D flashlight in a 2D world. And so another interesting thing is this tree on top of her darkens, but it also is affected by the light. So, well, let me just run over here. So, also you'll notice the camera moves to try and frame the lit area on screen. That was we made a number of changes from Devastated Dreams, from Neverending Nightmares, and I think that one works really well. But watch carefully on this tree as it gets lighter as you pass by. I think that's a really cool effect, and sort of emulates the way that light will sort of scatter on the opposite side of the tree as you walk by it. So we definitely put a lot of thought into the lighting and the flashlight mechanic. And really, I think, besides creating more interesting gameplay, I think that the favorite part about the flashlight for me is just that it really increases the fear factor. If you look at the last game, I think Together at Last is, well, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's probably my favorite level. And I think one of the reasons why it works so well is just because of the darkness. And so it's probably not coming across in the with the video compression, but if you look right into the middle of the screen, there is a weird little pattern moving behind in the darkness. And so, no, that's not the right one. So that's what it actually looks like. So we have some weird ink patterns that are hiding in the darkness. But then the idea is we want to sort of emulate the idea of the little things you can see, but then when you look closely, it's just your eyes playing tricks on you. So when you move the flashlight, it actually moves out of the way. And so you can't really focus on it. And we have a few of those. We'll probably do more things like that. But the idea is we want to show that we want to create that world where basically so you can see how they sort of move. Whoop. So as the flashlight beam hits them, they move out of the way, so they're just always out of your view. And we want to create that feeling that anything can happen, and there's a lot of scary things going on. Anyway, so those are just some thoughts about the flashlight mechanics and what we're trying to do with Devastated Dreams, and what makes it even more interesting, even scarier than Neverending Nightmares. So thanks for watching.